is Airtime with Ronnie Klassen. I'm here in Chong Chieng, Sarawak, after having just attended an event which is being organized by DAP Sarawak, and it was the mobilization of DAP's election and naming of 14 candidates. 10 candidates. Also present at this mobilization was Yang Amat Berhormat Saudara Lim Guan Eng, the Chief Minister of Penang. The State Legislative Assembly was dissolved on the 11th of April, and the Election Commission has set the 25th of April as nomination day and 7th of May as polling day. With me this evening is DAP's Sarawak Chairman, Yang Berhormat Saudara Chong Chieng. Welcome to the show, Saudara Chong.
Thank you.
That was a very impressive mobilization event that was done by yourself and your committee just now. Quite impressive.
Thank you.
And the introduction of your candidates for the forthcoming state election. I noticed that you have quite a number of candidates who are very vocal, probably because of their age. Good. Now, coming back to the objective of this talk show of ours, YB. Now, DAP is going into the state elections with 29 seats.
Yes.
How do you rate the DAP's chances in the 11th state election?
I think first and foremost, we are not in this election to change government. We are in this election to deny BN of his two-term. This is, well, that means that we have to win 28 of the total 82 seats that is to be contested. So, how do you see our chances? It depends on areas. So it depends on areas, and in some area we have higher chances. In some area we have not so high chances. But in most of the areas we contest, I think we stand a reasonable chances of winning the seats. And well, it depends on a lot of factors, as you know. I mean, in any elections, there is the pre-election factors and during the campaign factors that have to be taken into. And so, if you ask me how do we rate our chances, I will say reasonable.
Reasonable. What define reasonable?
Well, in those areas we contest, we have a fair chance to win. So it depends on we may not have the upper hand, or the statistic may not in our favor in most of the areas in some of the areas that we contest. But I believe with our campaign strategy and most of all, I think the discipline of our members, the organization, we can give Barisan Nasional a tough fight. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the last state election,
yes,
in 2011,
yes,
DAP, you managed to win
12 out of 15 we contest.
All right. Now, obviously, you are now contesting in 29 constituencies, yes, which is 14 more than the previous election. Yeah, almost double. All right. Now, what was the process of sitting down with the leadership of Pakatan Harapan in lobbying for the additional 14 seats?
All right. I think it has to start from 2013. 2013, I mean, the whole nation want to change. Majority of the people wants to change. And we see some changes taking place. To the extent that the popular votes that the opposition got garnered is was more than the Barisan Nasional. But sad to say, I mean, in the rural outskirt area, we have the opposition didn't do that well, and therefore I think it was about a week after the 505, the 2013 general election, when I think most of the people, most of the nation is still in despair, loss of direction, that our party leadership, especially Lim Kit Siang, came out with this idea, Impian Sarawak. He sees the problem, the hindrance to change lies in the rural area. Therefore, we started the Impian Sarawak projects, and where we make inroads, approach the rural folks, and then through the implementation of some of the infrastructure, mini infrastructure, I wouldn't say it cannot be big because we are just a political party, right? Minor infrastructure projects. We managed to through those projects we managed to cultivate some goodwill, and thereby we can spread our message, political message to the rural area. And then that is where we slowly gain the trust of the rural people. And when we have sufficient number of members and strength in the areas, that's how we exert the
additional 14 seats.
The 14 seats.
Now, most of these 14 seats you are referring to basically are predominantly native based.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how does PKR, right? Of course, PKR claims that they are more towards native constituency.
Yes.
All right. Now, how did DAP and PKR juggle and come to an agreement that DAP's Dayak candidates are more effective or better than PKR?
I think this our relationship with PKR, and we are in cooperation. We are cooperating, and at the same time is also we are also competing. Right? We hope to through the competition we can bring out the better of the parties. All right. That is why I think along the way we gauge the support from the grounds, like what you see today. You know, the number of Dayaks in our mobilization exercise this evening, and it totally destroyed the myth that created, or the allegation or the misperception created by Barisan Nasional that DAP is a Chinese party. All right. In fact, in Sarawak, for Sarawak DAP, now we have more Dayak members than Chinese members.
Okay.
All right. So that is the extent of the support that we have. And also recently, through the negotiation, we have at the agreement of both parties, engaged independent survey to be conducted. And the result shows that DAP is now is more acceptable.
You mentioned
amongst
independent survey.
Yes, I will not review who conducted.
I see.
But it was a body agreed upon by both parties. Yeah, both negotiation team. So I mean, even amongst the Dayak community, I mean, the support level for DAP is a lot greater
as compared to PKR.
Yes.
Okay, now this particular word has been very commonly used in particularly in Sabah and Sarawak. Okay? More often than not, it's been used for the right reasons. Sometimes the word is misused for the wrong reasons. All right. So I need to ask you this question, Wai-Bin. Do you believe in autonomy?
I believe in autonomy.
Okay. Good.
Yes, I believe in autonomy, But I also believe in check and balance. Alright, autonomy is just like any power. I would like to draw the analogy, like autonomy is a power where you decide your own. It's just like police power. Police have the power to decide how to investigate crime. Alright. But police power without any check and balance, more often than not, you get a lot of abuse of the power. And a lot of people, good citizens, will be victimized. Likewise, the autonomy here, autonomy power that we're talking about. Right? I'm not talking about check and balance from the Westman, but I'm talking about check and balance within Sarawak. Like any government. I mean, the old saying, absolute power, corrupt absolutely. So while we have autonomy in Sarawak affair, we should, within Sarawak, have a stronger check and balance. And where does it come from? The check and balance comes from more opposition representative in the Dun. That's why, for all the abuse of the immigration power, the so-called the immigration autonomy power, we do not object. No, we are not like Juraida from PKR who say there should not be any autonomy immigration. No. Even Lim Guang Eng, Lim Kee Siang, we expressly support the immigration autonomy that Sarawak has. And but what we are saying is that the autonomy is a power that's vested in the state government. The state government should have this power, but should not abuse it. Right? There are personalities whom most Sarawakians will want to be kicked out from Sarawak. Right? Like the Red Shirt Army, Jamal, all these people, Ibrahim Ali.
I believe he was
kicked out. Yes,
he was not allowed entry into Sarawak.
Yes, Ibrahim Ali, all these people, those who are well known to be racist. All right, but I mean, if you believe in democracy, if you believe in elections, and if you are holding an elections, then personalities, people should not be prohibited from entering Sarawak based on their political belief, which is people like Anthony Lok, Tony Phua, Tony Ching, Teresa Kong. I mean, I have challenged Adnan Satem. Tell me what racist statement they have made, or what racist act that they have committed. He can't tell me. Obviously, I think none of the Malaysian can tell us what racist statement that these people have made, because they have made none. So I mean, this power has obviously been abused. Yes, obviously been abused. That is what we criticize. We condemn the abuse of the autonomy. We do not condemn or criticize the autonomy of the state government. That is a very different thing. As for the banning of the MPs to go into Sarawak, right? This is I think Adina's true colour showing. He has been making very populist statements and promises and some policies. Needless to say, things like money politics, corrupted practice, suppression of opposition, and even suppression of media, freedom of media. It all comes together just for one purpose, to have a better chance in the elections.
All right. Now, a couple of days ago, you made this statement.
Yes.
Leave, as far as the elections is concerned, state elections coming in, right? The election for Sarawak basically is a Sarawakian affair,
Yes.
right? And as such, allow Sarawakians to decide who they want, all right, to be represented in the state legislative assembly. Now, out of curiosity, maybe, it is a state election, and we are talking about Sarawakians wanting to decide who the government should be. Now, wouldn't you think it sounds a little bit, if I may use this word, pathetic, all right, if it's a parliamentary election, how do you make known to the voters, all right? Do you use Sarawakians again to vote? Because the candidates obviously will be Sarawakians, but we are talking about a Malaysianized country whereby parliamentarians, or rather candidates who are aspiring to become parliamentarians, will be representing in parliament. So how do you balance that difference between state elections, Sarawakians?
I think, I think I made the statement. I'll give you the context in which I made the statement. But anyway, just for as a general, although this is a Sarawak election, but it affects the nation as well, as much as a
Selangorian or Johorian.
Or a general election. It affects as much. I mean, in the sense that Sarawak has always been the fixed deposit state of Barisan Nasional. If this fixed deposit state, if this fixed deposit state is shaken, then the whole power base of Barisan Nasional is shaken. All right. So now what I'm referring on, this is Sarawak affair. I'm referring to the army votes.
Oh, okay.
Army votes, army voting in Sarawak. There are tens of thousands of West Malaysian army voting in Sarawak. All right. Since Adinan is talking so much about Sarawak autonomy, and to the extent that he said he doesn't want West Malaysian politicians to come and talk to people in Sarawak to affect their way of thinking.
But he allows them to vote in Sarawak.
But on the other hand, when you are blocking 20, 30 or 50 opposition leaders from coming in to talk to people who I mean, this whom are still free to make their decision after listening to all these West Malaysian politicians. All right. So, but on the other hand, you are allowing tens of thousands of West Malaysian army to cast the vote in determining the adun for the area. Just for instance, my area, Kota Sentosa, I have about 25,000 voters. Out of the 25,000 voters, 3,000 plus are army votes.
Postal votes.
Postal votes. Army. From army camp. And most of the army are from West Malaysia. So wouldn't this be an interference of our autonomy? You see, I mean, if you want to talk about autonomy, it should start right from the top, the root of the whole matter, which is the government that the people elect. You see, and if you are talking about autonomy, Sarawak autonomy, then let Sarawakian decide, solely Sarawakian to decide who they want to vote. All right, we can get analysis, we can get politicians from both sides to come, from West Malaysia, even from international, from outside Malaysia, international speaker to come, to talk about current affairs, to talk about political situation, to talk about nation's economy, everything. We talk about everything. And at the end of the day, it is up to the voters to believe or not what the speaker has said. And that is what we say. Autonomy, it has to be an informed decision of the voters. You don't shut out everything and then hopefully the people remain misinformed or ill-informed, and just cast the vote in the dark. You see, that's why what we are objecting. It's not about this is solely a Sarawak affair, and then therefore nobody should interfere. All right, but yeah, it is a Sarawak affair, Sarawak election, but it affects the whole nation, and also the voters had the right to know about the importance and implication of this election.
Now, 36 hours ago, Sarawak's PKR chairman, Barubian, he was in the verge of exercising his veto powers on the encroachment of DAP into 5 state seats that PKR claims belongs to them, or rightfully they should be the candidates should be from PKR. But however, yesterday there was a reverse statement from Barubian, saying that now it's only 1 or 2 seats. Now, what in your mind actually do you think transpired in that last 36 hours for him to give a very firm number, and yesterday the number reduced? I'm sure Lim Guan Eng did not twist his arms or vice versa, but what do you think actually transpired?
I do not want to engage in any guesswork of what transpired in his mind. But let me share with you what happened. Right? And about his so-called veto power. Basically, is the seat negotiation. It's a negotiation between parties, two different parties. And both parties send their representative to represent the party to negotiate. And during the negotiation, there are several rounds of negotiations. And finally, in the last final round, an agreement has been reached. An agreement has been reached. And it was also inked between Azmin and Lim Guan Eng. All right. And suddenly, I was so happy. If you can reach a one-to-one situation against BN, it's not that we will win, but we have already crossed the first hurdle. You see. So I was so happy then. Then suddenly he said, I'm exercising my veto power. All right. He's talking about, this is Sarawak PKR's rights. All right. If in any negotiation, be it between parties, between countries, or between companies, or even between individuals, if you send some representative to talk on the behalf, to negotiate on the behalf, definitely the person who represents you to negotiate must have the power to agree on the behalf.
That's right.
On terms that it will be negotiated. You see? You can't just after your representative agree on certain terms, and then you just go turn around and say, no, he doesn't have the power. If he doesn't have the power to agree on your behalf, then don't ask him to negotiate. That is basically my understanding of what do you mean by go and negotiate and reach a settlement. All right, Azmi has been entrusted by the whole PKR to negotiate on behalf of PKR. And he did that, and he agreed on their behalf, and we negotiate with them. And you don't come back and say that after he has agreed and then say that, oh no, he has no power. Right? If you think that he has no power, don't ask him to negotiate.
Would you be expecting any resistance from Barubian in as far as the seats, this five seats is concerned?
No. I think it is totally absurd. Absurd that after having reached an agreement and you turn back on your words. And what more to say? Azmi is not a Tom, Dick and Harry, nobody in PKI. He's a deputy president.
That's right.
And shortly after he has agreed, one Aziza make announcement. I think a few days later. All right, Azmi agreed on the 7th of April, and the following Monday, Azman Aziza said, happily announced, we have settled the whole matter. And suddenly you have people within
exercises veto powers.
That is not. I don't think that is what you call veto power. That is going back against your words. All right, going back against your words, it goes to the question of a credibility of a party. All right, if you can go against what is agreed in any meeting, it's similar like Hadi Awang, what he has done to Pakatan Rakyat in the last year. In the meeting you agree, and then out of the meeting suddenly you say other things. I don't see PKR as or PKR Azmin's faction of PKR or Wan Aziza's faction of PKR or Barubian's faction of PKR. I don't want to see that. It is a party as a whole. All right. Since you are a party as a whole, your president and deputy president endorsed by your party and trusted by your party to negotiate with us, we spend our effort and time to negotiate. And once we have reached an agreement, it is time to move on. How much time do you have?
Correct.
How much time do you have?
Yeah, you only got a couple of days before nomination.
Exactly.
Now, I was a little bit taken aback. There was a statement made by Barubian in 2014 when it was still Pakatan Rakyat. This happened here in Sarawak. You took a very bold step in dissolving Pakatan Rakyat in Sarawak. Right? And it was also during that time that the hudud issue became a heated issue. Right? And Barubian accused you of suffering from amnesia on going back against agreements that was agreed upon between DAP and PKR. I find that quite amusing. Right? Are you aware of this statement that he made?
Amnesia?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think so. I can't remember. What did he say that I've suffered? In what aspect I suffer?
Well,
amnesia?
you had an agreement. I mean, DAP
yes.
passed and PKR, right? In with regard to
hudud.
Yeah, hudud.
Yes.
You know, and of course PKR was a little bit silent as compared to yourself.
Yes.
You know, so he was basically referring probably of a national understanding. You know, and it was prompted here. You know, and I guess and well, in inverted commas, maybe an agreement was actually fundamentally agreed upon. You know, and he claims that you back out from that agreement, and as such, because of this friction, you decided to dissolve Pakatan Rakyat.
No. I think that is. I don't know. I don't remember reading any of his statement. But if you ask me about why Sarawak DAP, withdraw ourselves from Pakatan Rakyat, I think basically in Pakatan Rakyat it has been agreed at that time, hudud should not be an issue, should not be an agenda for Pakatan Rakyat, and PAS went off the tangent. PAS went off the tangent to go for to fight for its hudud implementation, both in Kelantan and nationwide. And well, DAP's stand, as you all know, has been very clear, decisive, that we are against the implementation of hudud. So in a coalition of three, you have one all out for hudud, one all against hudud, and we just want PKR, the third person, to make a statement. You are in or not? You are in for hudud or not? All right. If you are not for hudud, you have to make yourself clear, and both of us can just kick PAS out. All right. But if you want to be silent and try to please both sides, it cannot coexist.
It shows you are neither here nor there.
You are neither here nor there. You have no principle. Then for me, I'll just take it as you are supporting hudud, supporting PAS. All right. So because of that, I say since 2 out of 3 supporting hudud, or one is in silent consent of hudud, the only one DAP we pull out. I say that is a decision. I think that is a decision, and I am proven right. And subsequently the events that transpired, the whole Pakatan Rakyat broke down because of this issue. Not only this issue, the past behavior. Yeah, I was proven right many months later. But I believe it could have been dealt with more decisively. I wish it could have been dealt with more decisively by PKR.
Moving forward now, this is 2016.
Yes.
You are now preparing yourself for the 11 state elections.
Yes.
Is PKR, DAP, and Amanah under the flagship of Pakatan Harapan consolidated, united, solidified in facing this particular state election?
All right. I think with all the seat negotiation, I think if you say that we are all one-hearted in unison, that may not be true, But working together, cooperation to a certain extent still do exist. All right, and also it could be localized in certain areas. Like today this is our 5th event. All right. Our third event was in Syrian, where we had a kopitiam talk, with the dialogue with the people, where we give our views. Well, PKR's chairman in Syrian attended our function happily and giving his full support. So I mean, in other areas where we do not contest, I mean, our member will be giving the opposition the full support. But I will wish that, you know, the cooperation will be more genuine, not only genuine, more united. That's why we gave out Batu Kitang in the spirit. But you know, amongst all the seats that has not been concurred, that has not been won by the opposition. And the Batu Kitang is one seat that, if you go by the voting in 2011 or 2012, both the opposition get more votes than BN. And not only that, Batu Kitang is an area where the majority of the voters are carved out from Kota Sentosa, which is my area, and Batu Kawah, which is also DAP's area. So I mean, rightfully, I think DAP has a better claim, has a stronger claim than PKR on that area, in that area, because it literally, I mean, is covered from our areas.
Batu Kawah is that lady that you said chili padi, is it?
No, the one after the chili padi.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, both area. This area is created from our area mainly, and the winning votes are from our area. So, but I mean, in the spirit of cooperation, okay, you don't want to be so rural. You want to have some say in the urban seats. So, all right, you know, in the rural area, we take those areas where we have people to work on. So, you know, I think that's why in the spirit of cooperation, we gave out the area that was carved out from our own areas, and that is the best seat of all the seats. That has not been won. That is the best seat, and yet we gave up.
What would be the expectations of the voters, right, who will be coming out to vote on the 7th of May after 12 days of campaigning? Will they be expecting to see a united Pakatan Harapan?
I don't know. Now the ball is in the hand, in the court of PKR. Basically, for DAP is concerned, we have already reached, both parties has already reached an agreement. We will abide by the agreement. But I just hope that, you know, PKR will stick to the agreement. After all, I mean, you know, for any person or any party, you know, to keep to your words is very important. It goes to the credibility of the party or a person. If you can't even keep to the agreement made with your partners or your component coalition partners, then how do you expect people to have trust in you? Right? That's basically, I think it goes down to the basic principle of credibility. Yeah.
Now, not too long ago, you mentioned in one of your PCs that if Barisan Nasional were to retain Sarawak again, you mentioned that the federal government would be increasing the GSP from 6% to 10% across the board, right, after the state elections. Now, how did you come to that conclusion?
All right, basically, how do I come to that conclusion? It's an estimation. It's an estimation based on the amount of tax collected with 6%, together with all the fines, all this, and that projected income, and then calculate against the drop in the revenue caused by the huge drop in oil prices. All right. So basically, I mean, with the huge drop in oil prices, I think the revenue of the government deriving from the oil and gas has dropped by 60-70%. And with the GST, which was the 6% rate, which was fixed at the time, it was when it was fixed at the time when the estimation of the estimated price of oil, international oil price is $100 per barrel. Yeah, it was fixed at that time. So now that the oil prices has dropped to 40 per barrel, there is a 50-60% drop in the revenue. So how to make up for that? How to make up for that? You know?
So you
get a corresponding increase in the GST, because oil prices the government cannot control.
Right.
Right, but GST they can control. So that is the way how I calculated the figures, roughly 10%. All right, I will not say that it will be immediately after the state election. If they win big, it will increase to 10%. But a year after, because they can't really increase it now in this year. All right, it has been fixed. In the last year budget. All right, maybe next year budget it will be increased. It may not to 10%, but 8-9%. Or my estimation is that you need 10%. Yeah, he need 10. They need 10%. Given the way they squander our money, they need 10%. This GST to cover for the loss in revenue from oil and gas.
You do realize, YB, when you made this hypothetical statement.
Yes.
All right. The Prime Minister.
He did not.
He was in Sarawak, and in one of the gatherings, he totally rubbished your statement. And no such thing is ever going to happen. That is what the Prime Minister said. Would you still believe that he is going to increase?
Yes. I think first and foremost, can you trust Najib anymore? All right, can you trust him anymore? Okay, he has said that he will abolish Sedition Act before the 2013 election. After 2013 election, see how many opposition leaders are charged under Sedition Act. All right, he has talked about liberalizing Malaysian the NGO activities. All right, I'm giving you the right to assemble. Yet he come with this Peaceful Assembly Act, and I'm one of the victims. Okay, so first and foremost, to answer your question, all right, after Najib said that 10%, he will not increase to 10%. Okay, will I still be think that he will? Okay, my first answer would be he cannot be trusted for what he said. The second thing that I will bring out is that after he said that, all right, I challenge him in the papers as well. There's no point for you to say it outside. Go to Parliament. Specify the period of time which you will not increase the GST rates. 5 years, 10 years, and when you said he rubbished my projection, all right, he did not specify the time. Or he just said that right after the election, he will not increase the GST rate. Yeah, right after, it can be 1 month, it can be 2 months, it can be 1 year, it can be 2 years. That's why I openly challenge him. You go to Parliament and make a statement that you will not increase the GST rate for how long, and you have to specify the time, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. Then I can take your word for that. Then even then I will have some reservation in taking his word. All right, but at least there is some credibility in a statement made by a Prime Minister in Parliament rather than some gathering of Barisan Nasional.
Actually, YB, I wanted very much to interview Lim Guan Eng just now, as I've requested assistance.
I think he was tired.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask him 2 questions.
Yes.
Maybe you can help him out.
All right, if
your,
I see...
in your personal opinion.
Okay, all right.
I'm not so interested in as far as the bungalow issue is concerned.
All right.
I'm more interested in the debate that should have taken place between himself and Rahman Dahlan. Right? Questions were thrown by Rahman Dahlan. 15 questions were thrown. Of course, he was trying to be not naive, but he was trying to be helpful, in providing the questions to Wan Eng, to give him an upper hand. And of course, MACC and the police have stated that they were against the debate because it will jeopardize ongoing investigations. Do you think the MACC and the police came in to bail Rahman Dahlan out?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. If I were MSCC or the police, if I truly want to find out the truth of the matter,
Allow the debate.
let both of you go and expose whatever you have. And then I will come in with all the facts. It will actually facilitate my investigation rather than hamper or interfere in my investigation. You have both adversarial party hitting out each other on the issue. Let the truth be reviewed, so why stop it? The only thing is that I think that they truly believe that they know for sure that Rahman Dahlan could not stand the face-to-face debate on this issue.
So you believe that Wan Eng was fully prepared for this debate?
Yes.
I want to show you one video, YB. It's a very short video, but interesting enough. I'd like you to have a look at it, and perhaps you have something to tell the Sarawak Chief Minister Adenan Satam after you've seen this.
We will now turn our guns on the opposition instead of one another.
That's it. The Barisan National will now turn their guns onto the opposition. What do you have to say to that, Wendell?
Since when has he not turned his gun against us? Since when has he not turned his gun against us?
Okay, with that, YB Chong, thank you very much for
Thank you.
being my guest here this evening. It was a pleasure having you here, and I sincerely hope and wish you all the best in the 11th Sarawak State Election.
Thank you.
And hopefully your dreams and aspirations and plans actually formalize.
Hopefully. Thanks.
That was Yang Berhormat Saudara Chong Chieng, the State DAP Chairman of DAP Sarawak, who has been kind enough to be present in this talk show today. It's already close to 11 p.m. I've taken a lot of his time, and with that, I wished him and to the Sarawak voters, I wish you all the best on the 7th of May, and with that, thank you very much. Goodbye, Malaysia.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.